Hey, good morning, guys. If you're watching this, it is Tuesday, April 7th. I am recording it on Monday, but I'm gonna send this out, and that way you guys have it first thing in the morning to go over. So this is going over more of category two, and like I said yesterday, if you were in the live meeting, category two is huge. It's got a lot of different things to it, and we have to put all of them together. So we're doing this for 2 weeks. Miss Cadell made these slides today, and they're amazing, and there's tons of them. So I'm going to go through as many as I can in 15 minutes. And then if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, please, 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 like I've said, please email me. Let me know. I've been getting tons of emails, and I'm okay with it. I want you guys to email me because that is how we communicate, or text, or call, whatever you guys need to do. Um, our little funny that she put on here today, it says looking at the map for some weekend travel ideas. And that is how I feel right now. I've seen all of these cool things on like TikTok where they're making like restaurants out of their kitchen and stuff, and I might do that this week because I'm getting bored, getting so bored. All right, so let's first go through number one. So this one's talking about a squirrel can run 36 miles in 3 hours. We want to look at the constant of proportionality. So just like the past recordings, if you've been watching them, I'm going to have you pause. I'm going to give a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to have you push play when you've got your answer, and then I'm going to show you guys the answer. Now remember, if you just let this video play, you're not doing yourself any favors. There's no point in watching it if you're just going to let it play. You need to pause, do the work, and then come back and find your answer. All right, so go ahead and push pause. Okay, now you should have pushed pause and you should have then pushed play to get your answer, and here it is. So the constant of proportionality is it's another fancy word for slope, but a different kind of slope. This kind of slope is a unit rate or direct variation. They're all the same thing. Constant of proportionality, unit rate, direct variation, all the same thing. They're all slope, but the slope put to one, per one. So this one is per 1 hour. And so the unit rate is 12 miles per hour. That's 1 hour. Writing it with an equation, y equals 12x. That is because if you look at the table, I have to get my draw part out. There we go. If you look at the table, it's 0, 0, which means there's no y-intercept. No y-intercept, just the slope. So we have y equals 12x. And then how long would it take the squirrel to run 100 miles? So you can say 100 divided by 12 equals 12. You can go ahead and do this and solve it. I would simply just divide 100 by 12 and get 8.3 hours. Okay. All right, next one, number two. We're gonna do kind of the same thing, but now with this black bear. So you've done it once, now let's do it again and see how well we do. So push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause and now push play to get your answer. And there we go. So 23 miles in 2 hours. That means he can do 11.5 miles in 1 hour. Write an equation for this table. Once again, the table has no y-intercept, so it's just 11.5x. And then how long would it take the black bear to run 100 miles? We would just simply divide by 11.5 and we get 8.7 hours, or 8 hours and 42 minutes, however you want to see. All right. Now we're going to do a snail. All right, so you've done it twice. Now we should get it right this time. So go ahead and push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause and now push play. You should be looking for your answer. And here we go. So same thing. It says 10 feet and 4 minutes. So if I divide that, I get 2.5 feet per minute. And then write an equation for this table. Same thing, the table has 0, 0, so no y-intercept, so 2.5 is my slope, and I just plug it in for m for slope. And then I would take what I want to know, I would divide it by 11.5, and there's my minutes. All right. Last one of these, and we'll do something a little different. So go ahead, last time, push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause and then play and waiting for your answer. And here we go. So 106 feet in 4 minutes. So I'm going to divide to get to, or 26.5 feet per minute. Okay, same thing here. We have 0, 0 at the table, so no y-intercept. And then divide the feet by this 26.5, and we get 19.2 minutes. Okay, this one is the same. You know what? I think all of these are the same. So let's just keep this practice going. Remember, practice makes permanent, but you don't practice until you get it right. You practice till you can't get it wrong. I know some of you guys have heard that before. All right, so go ahead and push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause, and there is your answer. So once again, 588 miles on the tank for 12 gallons. That means you get 49 miles per gallon. This is actually really important because I do this math on the daily. Because if my mileage goes down, if I'm getting less miles per gallon, I know that I'm having a problem with my car. So I do this every time I fill up. I make sure that I'm still getting the same mileage so that there's nothing wrong with my car. Writing it as an equation, still writing it without the y-intercept because of that 0, 0, and then doing our division to find out how many gallons for that drive to California. All right, same thing. There's only a few more left. And then go ahead and push pause, and then we are going to come back in just a second. All right, you should have pushed pause and then play. And here is your answer. So our SUV can go 18 miles per gallon. This is another real world situation you would want to look at. If you get an SUV, you're probably going to get less miles per gallon than something smaller like a little sedan, a little car, a little four-door car or something. My old car used to get like 36 miles to the gallon. My new one, which is bigger, gets I think 28 to 30. So if you get a bigger car, you get less miles. It's good math to look at. So there you go. We're gonna skip a couple. We're gonna go down here to, oh no, we're not gonna skip a couple. This one is different. All right, so this equation does not have a constant of proportionality. It does not. All right, and this one, it's wanting you to write the equation. This one is, it's a little backwards, so I'm going to write it for you the correct way. Y equals 4 and 1/4 x plus 2. It's the same equation, it's just they wrote it backwards. Doesn't really matter, it's fine though. So go ahead, we wrote the equation. You know what? I think this is kind of hard to start with a fraction. They're all fractions. Okay. Oh, I should show the answer. Sorry. So we wrote it as an equation, and we're going to copy the table and calculate the values in the y column using the equation. All right. And why is it not proportional? Go ahead and try this. You're probably not going to get it right the first time. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and try it, and I'll show you the answer in just a second. So push pause. All right, you should push pause and now play. And here is our answer. So we start out at 2. Okay, we start with 2, and the reason that we're starting on with 2 on y is because this is our y-intercept. If you were to see this on a graph, it would start out at 2 on the y-axis. And then we go up every jump on the y, we're going up 4.25. Because remember, when we write slope, oh, excuse me, it's change of y over change of x. So our slope is 4.25 over 1. Okay, 4.25 over 1. So 2 plus 4.25 is going to be 6.25. And then plus 4.25 and so on and so forth. And then on the x, we're just adding by 1 until we get to here, 3 to 15. Now 3 to 15, they're adding 12. And on this side, they're going to do 12 jumps, but just in one tiny spot. So there's still proportional. I mean, they're still, sorry, I was reading and talking. They're still linear. It's still constant, but it's not constant of proportionality, and it is not proportional because it starts out with the 0, 2 up here. It does not go through the origin. It goes through the y-axis at 2. That's what makes it non-proportional. So I'm guaranteeing you most of y'all probably did that one wrong at some point. So I'm going to give you another chance. So go ahead and push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause and it should be about 5 or 10 minutes later and you should have pushed play and have your answer. And there we go. This one, same thing. They had it written a little backwards. Y equals 2.5 x plus 3, and then you just change that to 0.5. Same thing, we're going to take that y-intercept of 3 and we're going to put that in as our y-intercept, and then we just add 2.5 all the way down until we get to this big jump here where we're adding more. It is not proportional because it goes through 3 on the y-axis. All right, we're going to do one more and then we'll be done. So this one, the graph does not have a constant of proportionality, so you want to write an equation, 2 points on the line, and explain what the graph does have, or why the graph, I'm sorry, I read that wrong, why the graph does have a constant of proportionality. All right, so go ahead and push pause. All right, you should have pushed pause and now pushed play for your answer. All right, so this one, it is 1.5. And they get this from going on the graph, and this graph, it looks a little off. It looks like they moved the 1 up too high. The 1 should be right here, so it'd be 1.5 right there. That's a little misleading, sorry about that. So 1.5, and then there's 2 more points on this line. You could say 2, 3. That is a perfect point right there. 2, 3. And then 8, 12. Yep, that one's a little off too. It's 9, 12. 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's because this is moved down. This should be moved down, so it's a little off. I'm sorry about that, guys. That one was not a good one. It is a constant of proportionality because it goes through the origin. Okay, and just real quick, show you the same thing on here. This one goes through the origin, so it does have a constant of proportionality. All right, I am almost out of time. So guys, you have a quiz and USA test prep that you have to do. You also need to make sure that you got 13.01 done because a lot of you guys did not. And I've already put that grade in. So if your grade is lower than normal, it's because of 13.01. So get this one done. Please, please, please get any missing work done. Anything that has a 0 on it, go ahead and get it done. You guys have the time now, so let's go ahead and get it done. Anything that's below an 80, you can do an error analysis for. If you don't know where to get the form, it's on the announcements. If you still can't find it, email me and I will send it to you. Office hours are Wednesday at 12:30 now. So 12:30, it's in the announcements. If once again, if you can't find it, email me and I will send the link to you guys. You'll have a great day and I will see you in the next recording.